All right, gang, we're going to give you an update of what's going on with driver's therapy and also what we're doing with the cars and if we're going to get another car and some excitement. Well, first off, we have to celebrate that we hit 200,000 subscribers. And that makes us so excited and so happy. Thank you everyone for watching. We really appreciate it. All right, let's kick it off with the 991.1 911. Well, first off, everything is going great with this car. I absolutely love it. And we have done a lot since we've owned it. So let's just go over real quickly. We put on the new little side markers. Those used to be amber. And then we removed the wheels and we cleaned the barrels. And then we disassembled the brake calipers, all four of them. And we cleaned them and re-lubricated them. And they were pretty squeaky, and I think it helped, but naturally the red brakes on the 911 are just squeaky. So we did that, which was cool. We got the tub for the front, which is really neat. And then we got some help. The side of our car, these little, right there, if you see it, the little PPF from the factory was really yellow. So we had that replaced, and that was awesome. And then after that, we did something based on our friend who told us, he's been giving us a lot of advice, and he doesn't want us to give him a shout out, but he's been helping us a lot. We made the little bracket so this never gets stuck. That's a common issue. We learned how to remove the fans, which was interesting to do. And then we Cerakoted our exhaust tips black because the chrome was kind of looking dated, but that looks a lot better. And in the future, we plan to remove the rear bumper, which is part of the process to replace the air filters. We have some BMC air filters, and we plan to do that. I just don't want to do anything until I have to. And that kind of segues into the channel and everything. Guys, I am retired, and I also am a huge introvert. I don't like to be outside or around people. I know it sounds crazy. I like to be by my friends, but I really don't like to be out. So and also, you know, I don't have to make videos, so I don't really push super hard videos, if that makes sense. But I enjoy working on my car, and whenever a problem or anything happens, I like to do it. So I don't force myself to work on cars, if that makes sense. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. All right, so this was the coolest thing. This is when we got co-sponsored with Suncoast Porsche and also the GPS harness guy from China, who was super cool, really nice guy. And really, I'm telling you guys, China is doing big things. I really am impressed of how professional they have been. Like, the stuff they put out isn't really cheap anymore, which makes sense because they're the industrial powerhouse. And trust me, I'm like full patriot American, but the Chinese are doing big things, guys. There's really nothing we could say that contradicts that. They're doing a lot of good things. But anyways, we also had to reboot our PCM system a couple times, which was a pain in the butt. And but besides that, you know, everything here has been we've just been enjoying the car, which is awesome. So besides putting the BMC air filters, we did fix that exhaust that we bought. So we plan to put that on in the future or sell it. I have thought about selling the exhaust that we fixed. And the reason why is because we paid $500, we put in about $500, and if we could sell it, and then we could if I could sell it for like $2,000, then I could put that money towards a Sharkworks exhaust, which is like the #1 exhaust for this car. Like, that'd be kind of cool hack, because that exhaust, the Sharkworks, is still close to $4,000. So, you know, we would get it one step closer to getting a cool exhaust, but it's still very expensive. I don't like spending that much money on exhaust. But what are some of the things we have to do? And before I do an exhaust, I'm kind of being slightly irresponsible because I have to replace the PPF, and I've been avoiding that. And there's a YouTuber who just took off the PPF from his 911 GT3, and it took the paint off, which was really horrible. So yeah, I don't think that's going to happen with this, but at the same time, it's so expensive to do that I don't know, I'm still 50-50. So the BMC air filters, the Sharkworks exhaust, and that's pretty much about it. Now, there is a guy who's selling carbon ceramic brakes and rotors that he took off his 991.1, and they have a chip in them, and it's probably going to be the only time I could ever get that, but I might not do that. And what I mean by that is that you have the red ones, which is steel, and then the yellow ones are carbon ceramics, like the ones that are on the NSX. And there's a guy on eBay who's selling the yellow ones, and they're pretty cheap, considering that one rotor is like $5,000. The whole kit, he wants everything, calipers and everything. He wants about $7,000 for it. But the thing about it though is, yeah, it's probably not going to be worth it, because I don't know if these wheels will fit on there, and it could just be a lot of drama. So I'm not going to take that risk. But really with this car, I just really enjoy it because it just sounds incredible. It feels incredible. And there's just something really cool about a 911. There really, really is, guys. Like, I love this car. Really, the only thing the car needs is PPF, and that's it. And then, of course, yeah, I mean, that is about it. Oh, and I plan to do a video. Like, the crazy part is I haven't told anyone yet, but I bought this like mat over here. Check this mat out right here. I bought this from Harbor Freight, and the way that this works is like you unlatch it right there, and then you unlatch it right there. And I think it's pretty cool because like I'm always on the ground, and this mat it's a mechanics like mat. So if you need to be on the ground, you just lay this down and you could look underneath your car. And the reason why I bought this is because I'm thinking about doing like a really crazy video. So the drain plug for the oil, it's just right there. Like, it's in the middle of right here. And I'm thinking that if I could just lift the car up a tiny bit, I could just put my oil pan underneath there and just remove the bolt and like just like drain the oil like super easily, without having to do anything else. Like, that easy. Just talking about like, we're talking about lifting the car up just a tiny bit, sliding the oil pan, taking off the drain bolt, and that's it. That's your oil change for a 911, which would be amazing. Of course, the oil filter, but guys, the oil change on the NSX is 7 drain bolts. So definitely, and you have a whole pan underneath it. So if I could do an oil change that easy on this car, that would be really cool. And it just tells you that sometimes certain cars, their maintenance, like that does impact the experience. Now, don't get me wrong, we're going to segue into the NSX. I love my NSX. I love it. I really, really do. Guys, there is nothing like driving a supercar. I'm telling you. You know, get in a Lamborghini, get in a Ferrari, get in a McLaren, get in an NSX like this, and I'm telling you right now, you're going to be completely blown away. The 600 horsepower of this car, the way that it drives, the mid-engine, everything is just, I just can't get over it. And I've thought about selling it. I've gotten multiple offers, and I just can't do it. But anyways, what do we have left with this car? Guys, this is literally love of a car. Like, I have done the most videos on an NSX in the entire world. I have the most comprehensive playlist. I've done everything you could think of to this car. And I have gotten lucky in things that I don't want to do videos on. People's already done them. So the NSX library, DIY library, is very comprehensive. And that's pretty cool. If you ever own one of these, you just know that it's very well documented and everything. So what do I want to do? I want to get the carbon fiber panels from Euro Boutique for my car. And they will match the door sill and the steering wheel. And I think it would be perfect. It would be perfect. It would tie everything together. So I plan to do that. That is definitely going to happen. And then next year, we are getting new tires, and I am on the fence of getting either Continental O2s, you know, there's some Sport O2s or whatever, or Michelin 4Ss. I love Michelin 4Ss. It's the only tire I've ever really used, and but these have been good to me as well. So, and not only that, the O2s are significantly cheaper than the 4Ss. So we will find out. So what else? I've thought about tint, the door, carbon fiber door switch panel, and then here recently the guy came out with his new carbon fiber aftermarket panels, which I think is really cool. I think that's neat. They're very expensive, but it makes sense. The guy had to do a lot of research and all that, which is cool. But besides that, guys, that is pretty much about it. Now, we just made a POV video, and the crazy thing is that we put the mic right here, and the sound of the POV video was incredible. We did one with the 911, and it caught the flat 6V 3.6, 3.8 engine very well. And this kind of, the audio was a little blown out, but it sounded amazing. So luckily this car has brand new PPF and everything, but I have to admit something, guys. The windshield protection film, it's starting to get a little hazy. I know I've talked about it. I know some people, when I first bought it, they're like, it's gonna get hazy. It's starting to get slightly hazy. And I'm not talking about bad, but like, you know, it's a little bit harder to see out when the sun is perfectly reflecting on it. So honestly, I'm gonna roll with it until it dies completely, because like I said, here in Colorado, we get hit by rocks all the time. And you know, we've had this for a while and I like it, but I am starting to see a slight difference, which is good. And I want to report that to you guys. So what else do we have planned? Well, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I miss a manual car. I almost bought a Ford ST, and let me tell you, yeah, it was going to be a manual car, a fun little tuner car, and we would have had the perfection. And what I mean by perfection is we would have had our manual car, and then we would have had kind of like our, you know, daily sports car, which is just an amazing, 911 is an amazing car to have, like, as just running around. And then our super car, it would have been complete, you know, a fun manual car, you know, a little tuner fun car, and then a 911, and then your super car. And that would have been the perfection if you think about it, because here's the thing, like, I need a manual in my life, and this car is nothing like the NSX, and the NSX is nothing like it. Like, if you wanted to drive around the city, if you wanted to go to work and come back to work, this is perfection. The 911 is perfection. You get comfort, you get excitement, you get noise, you get everything. It's just perfection as far as daily use. It's just, it fits every slot. So it's one of those things that it's great at everything, but best at nothing. I don't know if that's true or not, because it's best in what it does, right? But this car is just exhilarating. But the thing about it though is, like, it's definitely not as user-friendly and it's nowhere near as comfortable as this car. But here's the thing, like, all these cars have a ton of power, excitement, luxury and everything, but the tuner car, guys. And I've been spending so much time looking for a tuner car, and there's just not a lot of cars out there now. It's like the car market's got really stupid. And so yeah, it's getting hard to find one. But at the end of the day, like, if I find a cool tuner car, I will be super happy, because that will be the perfection, and we'll just enjoy that. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Hit that like button. We'll talk to you. Bye.